The 2024 Philadelphia Eagles. You know how this epic season ended, but did anyone see it coming? After last year's crushing playoff exit, doubt creeps in. Was this team slipping? Could they bounce back? Enter GM Howie Roseman, who didn't just tweak the roster, he built a juggernaut. From bold moves to under-the-radar steals, every decision hit. We'll break down the defining games, the relentless playoff run, and a Super Bowl 59 performance for the ages. A dominant season isn't luck, it's strategy. Let's dive into the offseason moves that turned doubt into a championship parade. The Eagles' dominance in 2024 wasn't just about talent on the field. It was about proving everyone wrong. And when it comes to rebuilding a contender, no one reshapes a roster like Howie Roseman. After last year's playoff heartbreak, doubts surrounded this team. Was the window closing? Were they missing something? Roseman had the answer: aggression. He attacked free agency, making one of the biggest splashes of the offseason, signing Saquon Barkley. Some questioned the move. Was he worth the contract? Could he stay healthy? Barkley silenced every doubter with a monster MVP season, racking up over 2,000 rushing yards and giving Philly the explosive playmaker they desperately lacked. But Roseman wasn't done. He found value where no one else looked. Enter Zac Baun, signed on a one-year, $3.5 million deal that barely made headlines. By season's end, he was the steal of the offseason. Baun's All-Pro season wasn't just about numbers. His 151 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, and clutch plays turned Philly's defense into a nightmare. His Week 14 forced fumble against Dallas, it flipped a crucial NFC East battle that all but sealed the division. Then came the draft. And once again, Roseman stole impact players. With the 22nd overall pick, the Eagles landed Quinyon Mitchell, a shutdown corner who quickly became one of the best young defensive backs in the league. And in the second round, another draft day heist, Cooper DeJean. He locked down the nickel corner role and made the play of the season, but we'll get to that soon enough. Howie Roseman didn't just build a contender, he built a powerhouse, a franchise that turned doubt into dominance. Building a roster is one thing, delivering is another. With pressure high and expectations higher, the Eagles faced test after test. A few key matchups proved exactly what they were made of, turning doubt into dominance and setting the stage for their Super Bowl run. The Eagles opened their season on one of the biggest stages possible, the NFL's first ever game in South America. Under the bright lights of Sao Paulo, the pressure was on, and all eyes were on Jalen Hurts to deliver. Facing a young but dangerous Green Bay squad, the Eagles engaged in a thrilling back-and-forth battle. Jalen Hurts led a sharp offensive attack, while Saquon Barkley shined in his debut, amassing 132 scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns. The Packers matched their intensity, keeping the game tight into the final moments. With just 27 seconds left, Jake Elliott drilled a 21-yard field goal, putting Philadelphia ahead, 34-29. On Green Bay's final drive, linebacker Zac Baun sealed the victory with a defensive sack on backup quarterback Malik Willis, preventing a last-second Hail Mary attempt. Baun's impactful play underscored the immediate payoff of his off-season acquisition. At 9-2, the Eagles traveled to Los Angeles for a crucial matchup against a desperate Rams team. A win here wouldn't just improve their record, it would send a message. Saquon Barkley dominated, rushing for 255 yards, the most in franchise history, and 2 touchdowns behind a relentless offensive line. Defensively, the Eagles overwhelmed Matthew Stafford, sacking him 5 times and forcing 4 turnovers. The pass rush controlled the game, while the secondary shut down any hopes of a comeback. Despite reaching 10-2, the Eagles remained overlooked as Detroit stole the spotlight. But while others talked, Philly kept winning, building a season no one could ignore. The Eagles dominated Dallas 41-7 in Week 17, clinching the NFC East without Hurts. With backups Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee under center, Philadelphia controlled the game from start to finish. Saquon Barkley was unstoppable, rushing for 167 yards and surpassing 2,000 yards on the season, becoming just the 9th player in NFL history to reach that milestone. The defense overwhelmed the Cowboys, forcing 4 turnovers and capping the blowout with a pick six by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The Eagles locked up the division title, and doing it against Dallas made it even sweeter. Making the playoffs wasn't enough. The Eagles had been here before, stacking up regular season wins, only to watch their season crumble when it mattered most. But this time felt different. This team wasn't just talented. They were battle-tested, hungry, and out for redemption. Now everything was on the line. Would this finally be their year? The Eagles opened their playoff run with a strike-first, strike-hard mentality and never let up. Green Bay's opening kickoff return turned disastrous when the ball popped loose, and Philly recovered, immediately seizing control. Jalen Hurts capitalized, firing a touchdown strike to Dallas Goedert before halftime. The defense smothered Jordan Love, forcing mistakes and shutting down the passing attack. Down 22-10 late in the fourth, the Packers had one last shot until rookie Quinyon Mitchell sealed the win with an end zone interception. It's almost like Howie Roseman knew exactly what he was doing. The Eagles dominated from start to finish, and they were just getting started. With snow blanketing Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles battled the Rams for a spot in the NFC Championship. Jalen opened the scoring with a 44-yard touchdown run, setting the tone early. Saquon dominated, rushing for 205 yards, including a 78-yard touchdown that all but sealed the game and electrified the crowd. The defense made life miserable for Matthew Stafford, with Jalen Carter leading the charge, recording 2 sacks and forcing a crucial fourth-quarter fumble. Despite a late Rams touchdown, the Eagles' defense held strong, securing a 28-22 victory. With the win, Philadelphia punched its ticket to the NFC Championship, just one step from the Super Bowl. A divisional battle with everything on the line. Detroit never made it this far, but the Eagles did. But they still had to get past Jaden Daniels and the Commanders for a trip to New Orleans. They didn't just win. They left no doubt. Hurts and Barkley combined for 6 total touchdowns, leading an offense that torched the record books with 55 points, the most ever in an NFC championship. In fact, no team has scored more in a conference championship game since the 1970 merger. The defense buried Washington, forcing turnovers and piling on the punishment. By the final whistle, the scoreboard read 55-23, and the Eagles were marching to New Orleans. The Eagles had crushed the NFC, but the ultimate test remained. One game, one shot at history. Would Philadelphia claim their place among the greats or suffer another heartbreak? The stage was set for Super Bowl 59. The Eagles landed in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59 as the only thing standing between the Chiefs and immortality. No team had ever won 3 straight Super Bowls, and Patrick Mahomes was 1 win away from NFL history. But the Eagles had other plans. Hurts led an offense built to attack, while Philadelphia's defense was designed to disrupt Kansas City's high-powered machine. It was a battle for a championship and a battle for legacy. The Eagles imposed their will from the opening snap. Jalen surgically dismantled the Chiefs' defense, leading crisp, calculated drives. Midway through the first quarter, he lofted a perfect 24-yard strike to A.J. Brown in the corner of the end zone, putting Philadelphia on the board first. Defensively, Vic Fangio's unit frustrated Mahomes at every turn. The Eagles' secondary baited him into 2 costly interceptions, while the pass rush kept him under constant pressure. By halftime, Kansas City looked shell-shocked, searching for answers as Philadelphia controlled every phase of the game. The Eagles' defense overwhelmed Mahomes from start to finish, sacking him 6 times, forcing a fumble and picking him off twice. holding Kansas City to just 6 points through 57 minutes. Josh Sweat led the charge with 2.5 sacks, including a pressure that forced Mahomes' second interception, a crucial pick by Zach Bond at the Chiefs' 14-yard line. Earlier, rookie Cooper DeJean had made the play of his life, jumping a route and returning an interception 38 yards to the end zone to give Philly a 17-0 first-half lead on his 22nd birthday. The Eagles' defense took over Super Bowl 59. Hurts delivered under pressure, completing 17 of 22 passes for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, while adding 72 rushing yards and a score on 11 carries. Saquon chipped in with 57 rushing yards, surpassing Terrell Davis's record for the most single-season rushing yards, including the postseason. The offensive line held strong, allowing just 2 sacks and giving Hurts the time he needed to carve up Kansas City's secondary. Philadelphia's balanced attack kept the Chiefs on their heels all night. Despite the late surge by the Chiefs, the Eagles remained steadfast. In the third quarter, Avonte Maddox broke up a crucial fourth-down pass, halting Kansas City's drive and shifting momentum back to Philadelphia. On the very next play, Hurts launched a 46-yard touchdown strike to Devonta Smith, extending the Eagles' lead and delivering a crushing blow to Kansas City. While the Chiefs were still chasing Super Bowl history, Smith made some of his own, becoming the first player drafted out of Alabama to ever score a touchdown in a Super Bowl. The score all but sealed the game, putting the Eagles in full control. The Philadelphia Eagles were Super Bowl 59 champions. The Eagles' dominant Super Bowl 59 victory avenged their Super Bowl 57 loss and denied Kansas City a historic three-peat. Years of bold roster moves and smart drafting came together on the sport's biggest night. Hurts' MVP performance, a relentless defense, and elite coaching proved Philadelphia belonged at the top. With the Lombardi Trophy back in Philly, the city is celebrating. But now the question is, can the Eagles start their own dynasty?